If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it.
All right, everybody, as we gear up to do the electronics, I thought what I would do is a little inventory control. Man, I thought I was better organized, but I had a box ended up with everything in it, so I've done my best to recapture a little bit of that glory of what the Superman and Batman parts were like before I started jacking with stuff. So, yeah, man. So this is what we're looking at. This is the remains of the day of the Superman and Batman guitars, respectfully. So what I'm going to do is just kind of walk through what we have, what I don't have, what I'm going to be doing part-wise, and those kind of things. In a previous video in the project overview, I discussed all the different things that we could do to these guitars. And I've made some decisions, some things I've gone forward with, and other things I have not. So let's get into it. So the first thing is that it had 11 of the 12 tuning machine heads, and there was no way that I was going to resell or keep a guitar that has those tuning machines on it, so those have to go bye-bye. And along with going bye-bye would be all of the different ancillary silver screws associated with those things. And yeah, man. So we are going to go with black tuners. And oh, by the way, these string trees, these old metal string trees. Guys, I just can't do that to anybody, man. I just don't find those to be helpful, Jack. So those will go bye-bye as well, along with the two very plastic nuts. We're not going to use those. So what are we going to do? We are going to do basic black Safu tuners. I don't have enough room for all my props, Jack. Yeah, man, not locking, just regular old plain Jane tuners. I've scratched that one. If you've been following along with the playlist, then you've seen me probably already do the network and install this stuff. But I figured I'd just do show and tell and inventory control and all that. So we've also got the Fender rolling guide string trees, string retainers, you understand, and the black screws for all the tunage situation. And I do have two black tusk nuts to replace the plastic nuts. I hope those work. I hope they're not too short. If they are, we'll have to punt and come up with some different options. Now, a couple of different things. I have not purchased new pickups. Alright guys, I'm just going to move forward with these pickups. At least I'm going to set everything up. I'm going to install the electronics, and I'm going to listen to them. And if they need to be replaced, then I will replace them. You may remember that one of the guitars, the Batman guitar, had both its volume and two tone knobs. The Superman guitar didn't. It only had one, really, the tone knob. And you may also notice that these three pickups have pickup covers and these three do not. That is because I borrowed them for the Joker. So I did purchase Kayash. And guys, I was talking to Ray over at Guitar Vacations with Ray Landis. If you guys haven't checked out Ray's channel, man, go over and say hey to Ray, man. Tell him I sent you. Give him some love, Jack. So this comes with the three pickup covers, and it comes with the three volume, two-tone, and a switch tip, which we're not going to need. I'll explain that in a moment. But Ray and I were talking about the universality or lack thereof of pickup covers. So I don't know that those pickup covers are going to work necessarily on these pickups. You may remember that on the Joker, I borrowed these three pickup covers, and I did have to ream out the holes for the bridge pickup, which, you know, for the 22nd row you couldn't see. But anyway, I had to get pickup covers, to replace what I had borrowed. Yeah. So the reason that we're not going to need the switch tip or the volume and the two-tone knobs is that one thing I did want to upgrade is this mess right here. So I ordered some parts that should be here today. J-Man, I ordered the Lam Sam controls. So guys, I increased the budget from, I think we were at $112 guitars and parts. I think now we're at $170 guitars and parts. So in order to, if I were to sell the Batman and the Superman guitars, I'd have to sell them for somewhere in the ballpark of, you know, whatever, half of one, what did I say? 170. So, you know, man, about $90 a piece to kind of redeem any kind of costs associated with the project. But we're not going to be using the pots or the box switch or that chiclet, so these go bye-bye. So we will be using the Lam Sam control, Strat control, 5-way switch. I didn't get the push-pull. I'm not a push-pull guy, whatever. So we're really not going to need these either because those pickup, no wait, yeah, we will need the pickup covers, but we won't need the knobs or the switch tip for that reason. The other thing is I did get pure tone output jacks, check, for the two guitars. So these cheesy, now guys, look, if you use this kind of thing and it works for you, man, rock and roll your situation. Nothing I say is prescriptive for you, Jack. But just make sure that you at least push that in as, you know, as much as you can get it so that your guitar connector, technical jargon. Yeah, man, so that it sits well in there, okay? Loosey-goosey gives you static and all kind of bad dreams. The other thing is that we did already put on black strap buttons on the bodies of the guitar, so we won't be needing the strap buttons, the chrome ones that came. We can repurpose all this stuff down the road. Because we are also upgrading our tuners, which have the ferrule nuts on them, we will not be needing these ferrule covers. And I'm not quite sure. I think those are plastic painted chrome, but they may very well be some kind of cheap metal kind of situation. But anyway, we don't need them. They go bye-bye. Yeah, man. So we do have our boats. Man, guys, look, if I was really going to keep Superman or Batman and it was going to be my guitar, I would get black boats. TR calls these footballs. So whatever works for you. But I'm going to rock the chrome boats, and we have the chrome screws for that on a black guitar body. I don't know how much I feel that, but, you know, it is what it is. Of course, we have our trim plate cover, and we have our control cavity cover. So I mentioned in a previous vid that one of the things that I really dig about these Strats that don't have a pick guard where the, you know, on them is that you can more than likely swap those pickups without deinstalling all your strings and all those things. So I think that's cool, man. I did take some knocker loose. I think I've talked about knocker loose before. I got that because of J-Man's wreck a while back. Man, it works wonders. So I did copacetically clean the trims. And now the Batman guitar had all 6 of its saddles. The Superman guitar only had 5 saddles. So I'm going to have to what we call rob Peter to pay Paul off of another bridge that I've got laying around the shop. It's just a study. Oh, relax. Everybody knows it's just a study. Critics are everywhere. Anyway, I'm going to have a 6th saddle that I will install on that trim bridge. And yeah, man, it's got the 6 screws that holds it down. These springs, I'm not a trim guy, guys, but these are pretty flimsy. And the claw I mentioned under the hood in other videos, it's pretty flimsy as well. But as long as it's going to hold that bridge down where I can deck this guitar, life is good, my friends. Life will be good. I'm going to go ahead and rock the original bridge. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and rock, yeah, man, the original neck plates and the screws. Again, if I were going to keep Superman or Batman, I would black it out entirely. Black boat, black neck plate. And for some reason, man, oh, I know why. I borrowed, the other thing I borrowed from Superman were the 6 black screws. This has the situation where the pickups just drill right in the body of the guitar. And so I borrowed the 6 screws, and I know all 6 springs for the Joker. So I'm 1 spring to the good. Well, guys, I've got like 4 or 5 buckets of parts, so it's possible that I misplaced something along the way. So anyway, we'll figure out, we'll find, I've got a whole bag of stuff like this somewhere, including even the old rubber washers laying around. All right, well, that's inventory. That's what we're going to do. I'm expecting pots, switches today, and when that stuff comes, man, you know, we'll be putting this thing back together. At least the bodies, anyway. The necks are still. I don't want to talk about the guitar necks of these guitars, man. Guys, I'm doing the very best I can. Oh, man. Man, I had a guy comment today on one of my vids. He said, "Stop buying budget guitars. You don't know how to fix them." And I was like, dang, dude. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your comment. I really appreciate it. Rock on with your best self. That's exactly what I said, Jack, and I meant it with my whole heart. All right, man. So, yep, that's what we're going to do. What I don't know, when I cut the pickups off of the pots, the volume pot, and the switch, you know what I mean, the ground and the hot that went to the switch. I cut them as close to the end as I could get them. I don't know if I'm going to need longer wires or not to get to the new pots. So if I do, I may have an adventure ahead of me in trying to figure out how to extend this wire. I've never joined 2 wires together before, and these are the weird, not weird, but the ground wire and the hot wire are both inside of there. And so, anyway, I prefer them to be independent, but that's just me. Well, my friends, from the In Case You Are Interested files, I mentioned previously that Ray and I were talking about how pickup covers are not universal and how we wish they were. I did have one of the pickup covers. This is from the Kayash, pardon the destruction of that, which I think is the same thing as Dobro. But yeah, anyway, Kayash. Pickup covers, and would they fit? Well, one of them did fit copacetically. The other 2 did not fit. They were off. So what I did is I took my file and I just created a little opening there. And there you go. Now, does that look horrible? Oh, probably. I don't know, man. It's got those little holes next to the magnet poles. Does that matter that it's open like that? Put it in the comments, guys. Let me know. I do not know. There you go. From the 22nd row, will that make any difference? Oh, probably not. Did I scratch that? Looks like I did. The other thing I need to investigate while we're here, while we're waiting on parts, is I'm pretty sure typically my pure tone output jacks do not fit import boats, i.e. footballs. Shout out TR. Yeah, man. So let's see if it will. And it's not going to do that. So, my friends, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to take my reamer tool and my drill and bore that out. That's just the way I do it, guys. Put it in the comments, how would you open that up? But this is what I use. I use the same old reamer tool that I use to open up ferrule holes on headstocks for the machine head. Stems, yeah, man. So I'm going to do that off camera. I've done that a number of times on camera. I don't know if you guys need to see me do that. I did want to let you know, though, that the two things that I'm going to have to make adjustments on. One is I needed to open up those pickup covers so that they fit copacetically, although ugly. I think it's functioning. Got these for later. Because I've got, like I said, I've got other parts coming in today that will help us accomplish what we want to accomplish. By the way, my router bit here does not like to chew plastic, so I had to do that by hand using my red files that I got off the Zon about a year ago. And they come in handy for lots and lots of guitar purposes in my estimation. Okay, guys, well, I need to quit stalling and I need to go ahead and ream this hole out so that my pure tone output jacks fit copacetically in these footballs. And I think what I'm going to do, just for my sanity's sake, guys, I'm going to set Batman to the side, all the parts that go to Batman, and I'm going to work on Superman. And then when I get Superman going with electronics and the body is ready, then I'll do Batman separately. And maybe I'll do one live with you. Maybe I'll fast forward through the other one, or maybe I'll fast forward through both. I'll check the timestamp on the vid. Guys, I'm not trying to make hour-long videos. You know my heart, man. I am trying to bring you along for the ride. You know, I never know what people want to see and what they don't want to see. So as I document life and my journey, put it in the comments, man. How much fast forwarding do you want to see? How much real time? And you know me, man. If it's real time, the last video I made about the Super Twin guitar necks, guys, that was a 60-minute video because I was putting oil in the machine heads and all the things that I do, and I was just talking. And as I talk, things get a little bit long. Imagine how my church feels, right? So anyway, you get the drill, man. I'm a talker. And I like to talk to you guys, man. I really do. When I do this kind of stuff, man, I envision that you're sitting right here, man. Yeah, man. Keith and Brant, everybody's just sitting right here with me, man. We're just yakking it up while we work on guitars together, man. So, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I am going to go offline. I'm going to ream those holes out on those boats. Well, all right, my friends, just an update. I have copacetically drilled out, reamed out those holes so that my pure tone output jacks fit copacetically now. Using this. Now, guys, when I do stuff like this, I do have safety glasses on, and it's kind of like whenever I handle a firearm. The minute you stop respecting this is the minute you get hurt. I did not get hurt. That's not the reason I'm saying that. I am just encouraging you to be cautious when you do this kind of thing. Okay. Now, because my very expensive Mr. Pen clamps are in use, I couldn't use them. You don't have to worry about that freshly painted black Stratocaster body. That's for a different project. Shout out, Chris. So what I thought I would do is I'd put a few layers of my favorite blue tape, and I would hold this with my needle nose pliers like thusly. I would, whoops, and I would stick my own drill with the reamer and do a little shh, 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 shh. Couple of tips if you're going to do it like that. You don't want to put the reamer tool all the way in that hole where it catches. When it catches, it'll spin the whole thing. Now, unfortunately, because I'm a knucklehead, and I probably should have rearranged things where I could actually use the clamps, I did scratch the boat. Allow me to show you. So I caused that damage right there. So guys, you know, you take matters into your own hands, and your own hands will jack things up sometimes. So this one does not appear to be chewed up. Let's see the damage. There's a little bit on that edge. Yeah, just a little nick right there. So are those perfect? No, they're not perfect. Can you see that from the 22nd row? Probably not. Do I wish I would have went about 4 more ply of tape? Yeah, I do. I don't know that it would have made a difference because I think I was holding it firmly and probably too close to this area of the needle nose pliers, and that cut it. But it only happened a time or two when I went too deep with the reamer. And like I said, when you go too deep with the reamer, the whole thing will spin out of control. And that's how people get hurt. Now, fortunately, I did not get hurt. And more than that, our pure tone output jacks will now fit in those boats. So that's the victory I was after, my friends. That is the victory that I was after. I'm going to set all of Batman's parts to the side. Then I'm going to bring the Superman body back in here. We're going to talk about electronics because I think my doorbell just rang and I got some parts awaiting. All right, guys, stick around, man. Should be a good ride. Well, alrighty, my friends, our parts have arrived. What I did is I ordered 2 of these. One for the Batman, one for the Superman guitar, you understand? And yeah, man, this is a Lamb Sam control wiring harness in black. So, guys, these are roughly $30 American. So, you know, man, $10 guitars. Should I have bought this? I don't know. So we do have our 3 knobs and a black switch tip in there. Volume, tone, and a switch tip. That's cool. And it comes like this. Now, we're not going to do anything with this input jack. I've got pure tone jacks for that. I'm not going to say jack again. Yes, you are. Hey, the other day somebody posted on a comment on one of my vids, man, that my viewers play the drinking game, and every time I say copacetically or jack, they take a shot. Dang, man, whatever gets you through it, I guess. All right, guys, so this comes with this little piece of wood here. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, so the Lamb Sam, this is a 5-way wafer switch, cloth wiring. And so you've got your 2 ground wires, one to the claw, one for the output jack. Dare I say it, jack. And the hot to the jack. And you've got 3 full-size pots. Those are 250K. And you've got 2 orange drop capacitors on this bad boy. Look how clean that is, man. Jay, you were right, man. Smoking clean. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to come back in the next video. We're going to do the body of the guitars. There's a little bit of cosmetic work I need to do to Batman. And then we're going to install the electronics. We'll start with Superman, and then we'll go to Batman. But this video is getting kind of long, guys. I was trying to squeeze it all in here, man, but I don't want to keep you all day. I know you got lives and stuff to do, Jack. So there you go, guys. Lamb Sam harness. Yep. All right. Looks like good parts. Man, much better parts than what were in the guitar. So I consider this to be an upgrade for sure, man. All right, guys. Well, man, that's going to do it for this one. Guys, I appreciate any time that you spend with me on the channel. Special thanks to the Jacks, the Jack Pack, and the Jacks of all strings. You know who you are, and so do I. I appreciate your support and your encouragement. And guys, if you want to check out channel memberships, feel free to do that. But please know, man, if you don't do channel memberships, that's not your thing. You don't have the cash, whatever. I ain't mad at nobody. If you spend any time at all on my channel talking about guitars and life with me, just know that I consider you a Jack. Jack. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today, man. You guys are the best.
Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.